I survived 100 days in Hardcore Minecraft 1.17. I have recently done a 100 days but the version updates every 6 endgame days, but I never tackled a completely vanilla one. Well, today I did. Enjoy my journey. On day 1, I wanted to build a house by the end of the day, so I started chopping trees, mining stone, mining some coal, and I actually ran into some copper from the new 1.17 update. So I started building a house, and by the end of the night, I had a wall. Not very practical, but it's a wall. On day 2, I found a cave and there were 2 skeletons in it. One of them had an enchanted bow, so I had to try and sneak around them, but I failed at that and they noticed me. They started shooting at me and I ran away, while also mining 1 block of iron, which I found pretty funny, and I actually MLG blocked an arrow with 2 blocks of cobblestone, so that made me feel pretty good. Anyways, after that, I wanted to take a different approach to gathering food, so what I did was I ran really far away and started killing all the animals. That way, I would have all the animals back at my house to make a farm. On day 3, I was gathering more food, and while I was at that, I found a village. This village had 2 Fletchers, and I can actually use this to get some easy emeralds because of their 32 sticks for 1 emerald trade. On day 4, I did a bit more food gathering and went home. It actually took me the whole day to get home, but I should be good on food now, so I guess that's one upside. I can't figure out what I did on day 4. To me, it looks like I did a little bit of everything. I did some farming, I did some digging of gravel to get flint, I did some building. Really a really fulfilling day. Not even 5 seconds into day 6 and I'm almost dead to a baby zombie with an iron sword. I had full iron armor and this guy was packing a punch to me. I had no choice but to run. Anyways, I was building and I needed black wool for my kitchen floor, so I spent the whole day trying to find some squids. I did end up getting some though, so that's good. On day 7, I was just doing some more building. That's really all that happened. No close calls or anything like that. Day 8 was basically rinse and repeat of day 7. Just build, build, build. That's all I did all day. Building, building, building. Building, building, building. Building, building, building. On day 12, I wasn't building, but rather leading animals. I led 2 pigs and 2 chickens into the fenced-off area in front of my house. Day 13 was so annoying. I had to lead 2 cows with leads from a village that was like 500 blocks away back to the fenced-off area of my house. And worst of all, after I got back, I found 2 cows just roaming around like 50 blocks outside of my house. Nice. On day 14 and 15, I was exploring. I found some diamonds, but it was only 1, and before that, I actually had a pretty close call. I'll just play this out and it's full for you. On day 16, I went out to find the buried treasure from the buried treasure map that I found on day 14. And I dug it up, and there was a diamond in there, along with the heart of the sea, some iron, and some gold. I'm very grateful for that diamond because it comes in use later. On day 17, I made a strip mine at bedrock level. I found an 8 vein of diamonds as the first diamonds that appeared in my strip. I am so happy for this, and that leaves me with 10 diamonds now. On day 18, I made an enchantment table, but wanted to hold off on enchanting until the higher levels. I went exploring to try and find some cows or horses that I could kill for leather, and while I was out there, I figured I would get a leather worker at a village up to master level so he could sell me a saddle. Still working on that leather worker saddle on day 19. Still working on the leather worker saddle on day 20, and I got it. On day 21, I tamed a horse and returned home. Then I started working on the enchantment table area, which was going to be outside and look like a little bit of a shrine. It was really fun to make, and I think it looks great with the style I'm going for, which is like a dark black magic theme. On day 22, I went out and got 5 leather for the bookshelves for the enchantment table. I only got 1 bookshelf out of it, but I'm happy with 5 leather. On day 23, I went mining. I tried out dive mining, but I concluded that it was way too slow for me traveling back, so I don't really like it that much just because of that one fact, so I'm not really going to do it. On day 23, I took to the original village that I found to go to the cave that was under it. I spent a lot of time down there and even slept down there. Still in that cave on day 25, and I have to say, it's a pretty big cave. Still in the caves on day 26, and I almost died because I hotkeyed to a bow instead of a water as I fell. I also found an amethyst geode, which was pretty nice. On day 27, I created a water elevator down to the amethyst geode for ease of access. Then I returned home on my horse. On day 28, I gathered up my fence post and lead because I was going on the great hunt for leather so that I could finish the bookshelves around my enchantment table. That way I could get level 30 and finally start enchanting my diamond items. I did get enough leather by the end of the day, and I made the bookshelves and placed them. On day 29, I enchanted my diamond pickaxe with a guaranteed unbreaking 3 at level 30. I got efficiency 3 tacked on, but wanted to go for fortune, so I grindstoned the pickaxe and re-enchanted at level 30. I got silk touch and efficiency 4 tagged on to another guaranteed unbreaking 3. I then went strip mining for the rest of the day to see if I could find any more diamonds. On day 30, I was strip mining and heard lava, so I dug up to it, and it turns out there was a whole cave system above my strip mines. I almost died to a skeleton and zombies, and also found 3 diamonds. I then started gathering up all the ores that I could with my silk touch pickaxe so that I could get all of the XP to re-enchant when I got home. On day 31, I was in the village. I was trying to get Fortune 3 because Fortune 2 just isn't good enough for me and I'm a spoiled little brat. So I got the Fortune 3 trade by the end of the day, but had to go to bed because I couldn't really do anything else. Day 32 was a lot of wood chopping and stick trading. I finally got the Fortune 3 book at about midday, and then spent the rest of the day trying to get level 30. I was going to grindstone the diamond pickaxe that I made Fortune 2, and then re-enchant it at the enchantment table, and then add Fortune 3. On day 33, I enchanted the pickaxe and got Efficiency 4 and Unbreaking 3. That's an Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3 pickaxe. I spent the rest of the day strip mining so that I could maybe get some diamonds. I didn't end up finding any, though. On day 34, I was in the village. I was fooling around with another librarian and I wanted to get mending since my silk touch pickaxe was getting kinda low. I ended up getting mending for 12 emeralds. Just like day 32, day 35 was a bunch of wood chopping and stick trading to get mending. Day 36 has by far been my favorite day out of all the days so far. For starters, I have a mending silk touch pickaxe now and a Fortune 3 pickaxe, so I took to the strip mines and got 30 diamonds today. Amazing. Day 37 is a close second to the best day I've ever had, just trailing behind day 36. Today, I really let my creativity flow, and I feel like I have been my most creative on this day that I have ever been in the last 2 years of playing Minecraft. Coming off the heels of day 37, day 38 is another day where I really just let my creativity flow. I built a little armory station, but it was just the base for now. Day 39 is another day of me working on the armory station, finishing the base and starting to add some polished features. Day 40 is me finishing up and adding the finishing touches to the armory. I'll probably be making little changes to it over the next 60 days, but for now, I think it looks amazing. On day 41, I spent the whole day trying to get level 30. I'm trying to enchant all of my diamond gear pieces with level 30 enchantments, so I spent the whole day trying to get level 30, and most of the night trying to get level 30. Day 42 was just like day 41, more of me trying to get level 30. On day 43, I wanted to experiment with potions. Since I could get a brewing stand from the village, I thought that I would just trade with the clerk until I got the nether wart trade. However, I didn't realize until I got there on day 44 that the nether wart trade was actually 22 nether warts selling to him, and he'll give you 1 emerald. And then I just spent the rest of the day strip mining because I was sad. On day 45, I decided it was time for me to find Nether Fortress. I wasn't going to be able to get potions without going to the Nether Fortress for Nether Wart, so while I was there, I got all the blaze rods that I needed, and I also got the Nether Warts. On day 46, I was brewing some Strength 2 potions because I wanted to raid the Ocean Monument before day 50. By the end of the day, I was on my horse going to the ocean because I needed a pufferfish to make water-breathing potions. On day 47, I was fishing for the pufferfish. It actually took me half a day to get the pufferfish, but when I did, I returned home, brewed up some 8-minute water-breathing potions, prepared 3 buckets of milk, and then took to the Ocean Monument. I slept outside the monument just before entering. On day 48, I attacked the Ocean Monument. It actually wasn't that hard, and I realized how much I actually over-prepared for this thing. I only got close to dying once, and that wasn't even from an Elder Guardian. It was just because of a swarm of Guardians. On day 49, I was returning from the Ocean Monument. I then decided that I was going to build a mountain house because I wanted just something to put up in the mountains, because it was really bland, so I prepared for that and was going to build it the next day. On day 50, I was just working on the mountain house. It took me all day to finish, but I think it looks pretty good for what blocks I used. On day 51, I was just chopping trees. I'm preparing for a nice road system. I think it'll look great. Unlike day 51, where the latter half was just me chopping trees, day 52 was literally just me chopping trees all day. On day 53, I began road construction. I'm really liking the direction, pun totally intended, that I'm taking it with the blocks that I'm using. I think it looks really nice. Day 54 was more road construction, and I'm getting ready to go through a tunnel now. On day 55, I was doing more tunnel construction. I decided to line the walls in deep slate, and I think it looks pretty nice. On day 56, I continued to line the walls in deep slate. I actually chose cobbled deep slate as the ceiling, and I just barely had enough deep slate in my chest to finish. On day 57, I was still constructing the road, however, I ran into a medium-sized hill, so I spent the whole day removing that. On day 58, after I removed the hill, I was still constructing the road. I didn't get the wood rails on the sides down to the plains, however, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. On day 59, I put the wood rails on the sides of the road, and I think it looks great. On day 60, I expanded the road and made a farm chest. I have an armory chest, I have a cave chest, I have a logs chest. It was about time I had somewhere to store my farm crops. On day 61, I took to the ocean. I wanted to find a desert because there's a surplus amount of sand there, and I wanted to build a nice little glass bottle to brew my potions in. I think it would look pretty cool. I ended up having to sleep without finding one, though. On day 62, I continued to search for the desert. I couldn't find one, so I just kinda gave up. On my way home, I found a pink sheep, though. That was pretty cool. On day 63, I was preparing to build a path to the village. The road kinda ends abruptly, so I wanted to make a nice natural transitioning path to the village. I started by gathering spruce saplings and then mined gravel until the end of the day. I kept mining gravel for almost all of day 64, however I got a few stacks of dirt because I want to throw in some coarse dirt with the gravel. On day 65, I constructed the path. I included the coarse dirt in the little bits of gravel and I lined the outside with spruce trees. I think it looks really nice and natural. On day 66, I wanted to make sure that I prevent the no food crisis as soon as possible. You see, at the beginning of the playthrough, I had gone out and killed a bunch of animals so that I could lead some animals into a farm. However, leading animals and breeding animals takes too long, so I'm gonna become a farmer. On day 67, I continued my duties as a farmer. I actually thought, hey, maybe if I bone mealed the crops I could get more seeds since I'd been destroying grass everywhere to get seeds. So I ran home, but slept before I bone mealed them. I continued to expand the farm on day 68, but during the night, I did a night run. I want to get level 30 since my sword is really close to breaking. On a nice day 69, I continued to farm. I needed more seeds, so I broke some grass and threw out this real sussy egg that a chicken laid. During the night, I got level 30 just before my sword broke. Nice. On day 70, I enchanted a diamond sword at level 30. It got sharpness 3 and fire aspect 2. I then combined that with the old sword that was about to break and got a pretty good sword. I then went and got mending for 12 emeralds and combined it. Now I'm looking to have a pretty good sword. On day 71, I added potatoes and carrots to the farm. That's all I did. On day 72, I spent the whole day gathering wood and building a farmhouse. I just want a nice little farmhouse because I think it would add to the aesthetic of a farm, and I can sleep there if I want. Day 73 was more wood chopping and farmhouse building. I finished it by the end of the day, and I think it looks pretty nice. On day 74, some pillagers showed up outside my house. I contemplated doing a raid, but since it was like 12:30 a.m., my decision-making skills weren't the best. I ended up drinking milk, so that was at least smart of me. Then I tried to get 48 emeralds so I could get 4 mending books to put on my armor. Day 75 was more emerald gathering. I traveled between the two villages to get fletchers for sticks, and I eventually got all 4 books and sailed home. On day 76, I resumed the search for the desert. I didn't find one just like last time, so I just gave up. On day 77, I went and got a donkey. I was thinking that I could saddle him up and chest him up so that I could more easily transport mass amounts of wheat back to my house from the farms. On day 78, I dug some sand from the pond outside my house. That's right, I don't need a desert to get the sand that I need. I'm gonna build the potion bottle thing where I can put all my brewing stands and I can brew potions and stuff like that. I started construction on it in the night. On day 79, I spent the whole day constructing the rest of the potion bottle. I finished it by the end of the night, and I think it looks pretty good. On day 80, I just decorated the interior of the potion bottle. I lined it with stuff that I would need, like nether warts and brewing ingredients. On day 81, I went exploring. You could view this as a one last-ditch effort to find a desert, but I did find a village, so I guess that was pretty cool. On day 82, I did more exploring. I found a buried treasure map, and funnily enough, the X was in literally the middle of the ocean. It's hilarious. On day 83, I returned home. I decided to build a nice little table outside my house. I'm gonna make a nice little round map. On day 84, I realized that I needed leather for the item frames. I didn't have any leather, so I went back to the plains and killed some horses and cows. On day 85, I returned home from my leather hunt. I crafted the item frames and crafted some maps. I ended up crafting 8 maps and popped them in the item frames as I explored them. On day 86, I needed more sugarcane for more maps, so I went out and got 45 sugarcane. On day 87, I went down to the farm area and planted the sugarcane along the shore. This is going to be one big farming area where I'm going to store all the crops in the game. I ended up building a dock by the end of the day, and I'm going to use that to fish. On day 88, it was time for the big harvest. Most of my wheat, carrots, and potatoes had grown already, so I harvested them before the end of this playthrough. On day 89, I was still at the farm. I was fishing all day because I was waiting for a bunch of my sugarcane that I just planted to grow. On day 90, I continued to fill up the map board. It's getting pretty filled up now, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job on it. Filled out more maps on day 91, and it's almost done. On day 92, I needed more sugarcane for more maps. I wasn't going to fish because I wanted to be active in the last 10 days, so I went sailing. I found a lot of sugarcane, but I also found a mushroom biome. That's pretty cool. On day 93, I returned home and crafted up all the maps. I'm almost done. It'll just take a few more days. On day 94, I did more mapping. I only need 2 maps now. Just 2. On day 95, I finished the map board, not before having a heart attack to a creeper and almost dying. After that, I worked on the nether portal. I wanted to overhaul it, so I started to. Still working on the nether portal on day 96, and I think it's coming along great. On day 97, I was thinking about what I should do for the last 3 days. Then I remembered I had 2 axolotls in a chest. I thought I was going to make them a cage, so I started digging up the dirt from a nearby lake. It's going to be converted into a cage by day 100. Still working on the cage on day 98. It was supposed to be finished today, but then I remembered, oh wait, the water is flowing and not source blocks, so I had to break all the glass, make a whole new layer, and then put down a bunch of water buckets, and it's still not done. On day 99, I realized that I didn't even have close to enough prismarine to line the cage in it, so I went for polished diorite, and the way it looks, I think it looks pretty nice. It's finally day 100. I was so happy, but I reminded myself that a sneaky creeper could still end it all. Imagine if that happened. 100 days and then a creeper blows you up. Anyways, the cage still wasn't done. I lined the bottom in sand and enclosed it in stone brick walls. I think it looks great, and I hope the axolotls are happy with their new home. And that was my journey over 100 days of hardcore Minecraft. I learned a couple things from this experience. One of those things was that Minecraft has a very small tech tree, so you should really not feel rushed. Usually when I do big projects on my own survival world, I usually try to rush through the game to get them back, or at least, well, I'm messing up here, but this is live commentary anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So usually when I do survival projects on a new survival world, I try to get shulker boxes, I try to get the elytra, I try to kill the ender dragon as quickly as I possibly can. But I've learned from this one that there's plenty of things that I can do without having to rush myself through it, and I learned that Protection 3 Diamond Armor really gets you through pretty well. In fact, I also learned that the overworld has so much to offer, and the fact that I only spent around 10 to 15 minutes in the nether really speaks volumes. The only reason I was even in the nether was one, to explore it, and 2, to get blaze rods for potions. That's the only reason I was doing that. And I probably wouldn't have even gone to the nether if I didn't plan on raiding that ocean monument on like day 38 or 48 or whatever it was. But I also learned that if you let your brain go in Minecraft, you can be very, very creative. And just, if you keep thinking that you can't build well, or you keep holding yourself back, I didn't judge myself based on my own builds. I think that they added to the aesthetics nice, just like the rocks. Days 36 to 40 were the best days of this entire playthrough, hands down, because I just let my creativity flow. Seriously, if you guys have not attempted to just let your imagination flow in Minecraft, please do it. But anyways, that's about it from me for now. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you're... I'm messing up my outro here. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Likes and subs will help me out a whole bunch. This video took quite a while to make, but not as long as the last one, considering that here's a little backstory to the last one. I took like a 2-month break in between recording and uploading it. Yeah, I'm a very good YouTuber. So, basically, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell and watch my videos as they come out. I promise you, they won't disappoint. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.